Even 2 months after it aired, the fallout from Shannon Sharpe and Katt's captivating conversation still generates a lot of controversy and disagreement in the vibrant and always changing comedy scene. People initially praised Katt for her courage in calling attention to certain topics by standing up to the antics of her fellow comedians. Hi there and welcome back to Rumor Spill. But since then, the story has dramatically changed, with the emphasis now being on closely examining Katt Williams to see what effects her actions might have on her own personal and professional life. In the midst of this developing tempest, Shannon is accused of undercutting black comedians by using his powerful platform, which has put him at the heart of controversy. Shannon, nevertheless, is not one to suffer through a storm in silence. Redirecting the criticism towards Katt, he implies that she is the source of the unrest and even goes so far as to say that her actions have harmed his professional development. The story continues in the comedic domain, turning Club Shay into a center of dramatic intensity that echoes the passion that formerly surrounded Wendy Williams' well-known antics. Despite its age, Katt Williams' interview with Shannon Sharpe is still widely shared in the business, garnering over 60 million views on YouTube and influencing public opinion. Overwhelmed by constant criticism, Shannon vents his resentment at Katt by accusing her of consciously trying to damage his reputation and career. At first, the debate centered on the blowback Katt faced from her fellow comedians, mostly because of her fondness for making fun of celebrities, particularly comedians, in her writing. This strategy was novel, but not everyone liked it because they thought it was spreading negativity. There is conjecture that Katt's recent setbacks in her career could have stoked jealousy, leading her to disparage her colleagues on the comedy circuit. Katt made a name for herself by accusing Cedric the Entertainer of stealing jokes, a grave offense in the comic industry. Startled by these accusations, Cedric defended his honor and his contributions to comedy, pointing out his long list of credits and popular specials. This conversation spurred more discussion and attracted the interest of other well-known figures, like Kevin Hart, who, despite Katt's criticism, maintained his achievements and tried to help others in the profession. Katt's hints that Kevin's success is fictitious have reignited a long-standing rivalry between the two, thus, the animosity between them is nothing new. Unfazed, Kevin blamed personal problems for Katt's industry difficulties, claiming that they impeded prospects for collaboration. This back and forth, filled with allegations and denials, highlights the complex dynamics that exist in the comedy business, where rivalries and friendships frequently collide. As the narrative develops, onlookers examine Shannon's involvement in greater detail, conjecturing that his platform may have exacerbated tensions among comedians. After his conversation with Monique, this viewpoint became more popular, and more discussion regarding his goals and the effect of his show on the comedy community ensued. Voices like Dave Chappelle's, who contest the justice of the accusations made against their colleagues, exacerbate the issue and add nuance to a conversation that is already intricate. In the wake of his contentious interviews, Shannon Sharpe has come under scrutiny, exposing a community at a crossroads struggling to strike a balance between peer respect, humor, and criticism. By disputing the narrative and standing up for the integrity of comedians caught in the crossfire, Dave Chappelle's involvement in the debate gives the argument a lot more weight. His moving comments about the difficult circumstances black comedians experience in the business, together with an appeal for understanding and unity, reverberate throughout the community and force a reevaluation of the current disputes.
The reactions from other comedians and public personalities, who are split on the concerns raised by Shannon's platform, further muddied the waters. D.L. Hewley's critique of the confusion and false information spread in some of these debates is indicative of a larger worry about how these disputes may affect the cohesiveness and general perception of the comedy community. The story progresses, highlighting the increasingly hazy boundaries between professional rivalry, personal grievances, and the pursuit of comedic honesty. Once a private affair, the tension between Shannon and Katt has now grown into a public spectacle that has attracted the attention of other prominent people and sparked a larger discussion about the role of comedy in resolving both personal and societal conflicts.
Amidst this maelstrom of accusations, counter-accusations, and introspective reflections, people examine the essence of humor as a form of art and expression. The instances involving well-known comedians like Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart, and Cedric the Entertainer highlight the complicated relationships between responsibility, creativity, and celebrity in the public eye. The issues surrounding Shannon's interviews and the accompanying consequences serve as a harsh reminder of the difficulties faced by those in the spotlight in a time when social media and viral material greatly affect public opinion. The comedy community is in a unique position as it navigates the turbulent waters of public criticism, artistic freedom, and mutual respect as the lines between personal vendettas and professional critiques become more hazy. To sum up, the story of Shannon Sharpe, Katt Williams, and other comedians goes beyond entertainment news or gossip. It draws attention to more significant problems that exist in the comedy business and the entertainment industry as a whole, such as the demands of celebrity, the effects of public conversation on one's personal and professional life, and the continuous fight for acceptance and understanding among peers. When the dust settles, comedy's future and the bonds inside its tight-knit community are still up in the air. The conversation about a previous event involving my radio show took an interesting turn in a fascinating episode of Club Shay. Things took a sudden, heated turn on a day that I wasn't there. The story gets more complex when we learn about Mike EPS, a comedian with a keen sense of humor who got caught up in a lighthearted but contentious argument with Shannon. Mike laughed and related the story about how Shannon had asked him to join Club Shay, but he turned the invitation down because he had doubts about Shannon's motives, which he made up. The story becomes even more complicated when Shannon Sharpe makes the audacious decision to ask Mike for an interview. Mike cheekily declines, implying that Shannon is uncomfortable with his approach. But this lighthearted banter turned serious when Shannon charged Mike with using his reputation to gain influence, fiercely refuting any suggestions of improper approaches. Deeper problems are alluded to in these exchanges when TD Jakes and the difficulties of financial blessings are discussed. Unwilling to let up, Shannon changed the story to imply that Mike was the one clamoring for the show's attention. Shannon refused to allow unfounded claims to damage his reputation in the face of accusations and denials, even if it meant addressing sexuality rumors head-on. He made it clear that he was against lying and that integrity came first. As the story progressed, Shannon hinted at an impending encounter intended to correct the record and pledged to address the matter head-on. His answer to humorous barbs reflected this resolve as well. He alluded to previous conflicts with Katt Williams and emphasized his points with a lyrical homage to Destiny's Child. Shannon discussed sexuality in the midst of these introspective findings, downplaying its importance to his career advancement and raising awareness of larger societal problems. His attention was fixed on reality and the unfair consequences of lies. When Michael, better known by his stage name, Jason Lowe, made a confession and acknowledged making up stories about Shannon's purported pleads, the story took a new turn. This admission exposed a deeper yearning for cooperation that was obscured by miscommunications and the entertainment industry's competitive atmosphere. A larger discussion about racial solidarity and criticism within the community was sparked when other people, such as Mason Cameron, entered the fight with accusations against Shannon. This led to major claims of bias and integrity being included in the discussions. These charges complicated the story even more because they reflected opinions voiced by well-known people like Dave Chappelle. Amid all of this chaos, Shannon was forced to justify his position in an interview with Katt, trying to be fair in the face of a lot of criticism. The incident brought to light the careful balance that public figures need to keep, particularly when handling contentious issues. As the narrative progresses, Shannon must deal with charges and the tumultuous nature of public debate while upholding Club Shay's integrity. The response from the public is divided. Although some people applaud Shannon's position on transparency, others criticize the show's sensationalistic elements. This story captures the complexity of public life, where miscommunication, allegations, and the pursuit of the truth converge, and it mirrors the larger dynamics of integrity, reputation, and communication in the digital era. Subscribe Rumor Spill for more videos.